It was supposed to be another endless night of boardrooms and numbers, but something tugged at Alexander Drake's heart that evening. The billionaire CEO of one of the world's largest tech empires wasn't used to listening to impulses, yet he cancelled his dinner with investors and headed home early. He thought maybe a glass of wine, the quiet of his penthouse, and a moment to breathe would do him good. But as he stepped into his sleek, marble-floored home, he froze. From his kitchen came the faint clinking of plates, and then, a voice. He moved slowly, each step careful, wondering if someone had broken in. But when he turned the corner, the sight made his breath catch. There, under the glow of the kitchen lights, stood the night janitor from his office building, Maria. Her uniform was faded, her hands trembling as she held a bowl of soup. And on the floor beside her sat a little girl, no more than 8 years old, with tired eyes and a fragile smile. For a long moment, nobody spoke. Maria's face went pale, tears rushing to her eyes as if she had been caught committing the worst crime. Alexander could only whisper, "What are you doing here?" Maria stammered, unable to hold his gaze. She explained that her daughter, Sophia, had been sick for weeks. Medical bills had swallowed every cent she had. They'd lost their apartment just days before. With no one to turn to, Maria had hidden in the CEO's unused guest quarters after cleaning his office, sneaking food from the kitchen to keep her daughter alive. Alexander's world, usually dominated by stock prices and global expansions, suddenly shrank into that moment. Here was a woman who scrubbed floors in his empire, invisible to the boardroom, unseen by the world, but fighting a battle fiercer than any he had ever known. His first reaction was anger, not at Maria, but at himself. How could someone who worked for him live in such desperation while he had more wealth than he could spend in 100 lifetimes? Sophia coughed, a sound too heavy for a child. Without hesitation, Alexander knelt down, gently brushing her hair back. "You should have told someone," he whispered. Maria shook her head, her voice breaking. "People like you don't see people like me." Those words cut deeper than any corporate rivalry ever could. That night, Alexander didn't call the police. He didn't call security. He called his private doctor. He made soup for the girl with his own hands, clumsily but with a determination Maria could hardly believe. He sat with them through the night, listening to Maria's story, how her husband had died in a construction accident, how she had taken any job she could to raise her daughter, how every dream she once had was buried under exhaustion and survival. In the days that followed, Alexander's life transformed. He arranged for Sophia's treatment at the best hospital, paid every bill, and ensured they had a safe home. But more than that, he began walking through his company not as a CEO above everyone, but as a man determined to see the unseen. He talked to his janitors, his cafeteria workers, his drivers. He asked their names, their stories. Slowly, his empire changed, not just in profit, but in heart. Maria, once invisible, was offered a position she never imagined, working in the community outreach program Alexander started in her honor. She became the bridge between his company and the struggling families who needed help. And little Sophia, once frail, regained her smile, often visiting Alexander in his office to bring him drawings for his wall. The billionaire who had thought he had everything realized that true wealth wasn't measured by the balance of a bank account but by the lives you lived when no one is watching. He had gone home early that night expecting silence, but instead he found a story that would change him forever. So if you're watching this right now, maybe it's a reminder for you too. Sometimes the people who need us most are right beside us, unseen, unheard, waiting for someone to notice. And maybe, just maybe, the act of kindness you give could be the one that changes everything.